Obviously, you have huge followings on all the platforms, Twitter and Facebook, but in the past couple of months, there's been kind of new, fresh scrutiny that maybe was long overdue of platforms like Facebook and the respect for user privacy.
Yes.
Mark Zuckerberg obviously appeared before the Senate, said a bunch of things. Then we sort of public attention moved on, as it always does, right. And then just this week there have been half a dozen stories that sort of actually in some ways contradict or undercut Zuckerberg's testimony. What can Congress do? Is Congress going to do anything to deal with
that? Is thanks for asking that question. And just let me break the news to you all, and I think you already know that. Every website that you visit, every email that you send, every phone call that you make, there is some entity that is recording that. And it shocks me, quite frankly, how little the American people have said, hey, you know what? I'm an American citizen. I am entitled to live my life and make the phone calls that I want, or visit the websites that I want, to read the books that I want, without Big Brother, whether it is the United States government or increasingly corporate America, knowing everything I do. People know where you are right now. They know where you are shopping. They have access to your bank records. They have access to your healthcare records. Are you comfortable with that? And too often I'm hearing people say, hey, you know what? I'm not a terrorist. Government wants to listen to my phone calls. That's fine. I think that's pretty pathetic. All right? I think we have got to, and now you ask me about Congress. Congress is so far behind the explosion of technology that it's, we have got to start moving aggressively and say that everything being equal, you're entitled to your privacy. The whole world does not have to know everything about you. So I think, we're making some progress with Facebook in terms of the kinds of political ads that they will now accept. But that is just a small step forward.
And even in California, there were stories about people basically running attack ads on Facebook and not being in this new system. I mean, it seems
right. So small ball. But this whole issue of technology far outpacing public policy to protect privacy rights is a huge issue, which we have got to focus a lot more.
So, I mean, is this something that, in some ways, the companies want regulation? That if they can control it and design it and control the bodies that oversee it, and in other ways, I mean, what do you think that framework looks like? Is it a new law? Is it a new?
Oh, of course, it's going to have to be significant legislation, and we're working. I mean, this is so complicated.
Right.
This is not going to be a 2-page piece of legislation, but the bottom line now is the information about your life, James, is valuable to some company.
Yeah.
Who will then tell you what kind of car you need to buy, right, and what kind of vacation you need to go on. And we have to decide as a nation whether what you do with your life is something that should be sold to companies who will exploit that information.